Hello, so in the next video, we are actually going to be talking about how to set up the phone number. That's probably the most important part to get the most full potential out of the software, you probably want to go ahead and set up a phone number inside the sales and marketing platform. Now, how you would do that is you just go to settings right here, scroll down until you see phone numbers, and then you'll be able to add a phone number. Now, before you could actually send text messages, we do have to go through some Trust Center. This is why we needed to set up the business profile first, so that way you can make sure to pass through those information. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and just add a number. And then you could either choose add a phone number used for SMS and calls, or add a number pool used for lead tracking. And then you could add verify caller ID as well. You could also do toll-free numbers, so you could go ahead and get this started quickly. In this situation, we're just going to go ahead and add a local phone number. It will pull up with a screen very similar to what you see right here, and it'll pull up a bunch of random phone numbers to start off with. Now, obviously, you probably don't want a number from Pennsylvania or California or Maryland. If you do, perfect. That made your life a little bit easier. But you could also do filters as well, and then you'll be able to see what the capabilities are, or the number types. If you don't want to look at toll-frees, that's totally fine. And then you could also go by first part of the number, last part of the number, or any part of the number specifically. And that's about it for right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do first part of the number and choose like 850. So that way, that's the area code that I'm in. Then you're going to click on apply. And once you do that, it should be able to pull up a bunch of numbers for the Molino area. If you want to do a different location or a different country, you can definitely pull up another number as well, and it will give you the right area code for those areas. In this case, I'm going to find one that just says Pensacola, which you see right here, 850-426-4526. I don't mind that it's on the video because this is only going to be used for test purposes. And you do see that it will be a cost. It's roughly $1.15 every month to have a phone number, but not much. So it's not too bad. And if you're on the 60-day challenge, that's all inclusive for this 60-day challenge period. So you don't have to worry about paying for this until after the 60 days. You go ahead and proceed to buy. And now we're going to actually go ahead and set up this number. We do have to do A2P registration required, so we can send out text messages to them, specifically SMS or MMS. That is required by law and through all these third-party software for phone systems like Twilio and Bandwidth specifically. Once we do that, we could do a couple things. One, go ahead and edit the configurations, and in this section we can make some multiple changes. Name your number, so instead of it showing up with 850-426-4526, you could change it to office number. The reason why you want to do that is if you want to have multiple numbers for each one of your users, that's how you could set that up. And then this could go to your direct line, which this could be, for example, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I don't know my number by heart, so I apologize for that. And the number is, there it is. If I can pull it up. Perfect. We're going to forward it to that number specifically. Pass call number as caller ID. So basically what it would do instead is pass call number as caller ID. So by default the system transmits the number of the caller. So if my number is 850-525-1234, if I made a phone call to this call tracking number, currently what it will do, it will show my phone number. Now, I could have it set up where it will actually show off the tracking the tracking number instead, so that way if this person calls and it's 850-525-1234, it will actually show up to me whenever I receive it as the tracking number instead, 850-426-4526 instead. So that's the point of that. Use your verified number as caller ID for outbound calls. So this is very important. So if you actually want people to see your legitimate number, which in this situation would be the 850-972-26666, if I said that many sixes correctly, you would just have to make sure to click this one and fill out the appropriate information. To me, it's not that big a deal if they know the tracking number or my actual number in this situation. Enable call connect features. To ensure more accurate call reporting, this feature mandates the receiver to press the key to establish the connection for the call. Now, with that being said, for the person to actually connect the call, they must press the button to connect to. You're not going to get a lot of great calls. It does help with reporting and stuff like that. But the person who's receiving the call must press the button. So if the receiver is someone that's not in your office, and see that they need to press a button, they're probably not going to do it. So I normally uncheck this, but there might be situations that might actually work best for this for that. The whisper message. So if you receive a call from someone by this call tracking number, this is the message that's going to pop up to you first. So you could say lead from whatever ad that you're running. So if you have a specific phone number for Facebook ads, one for Yelp, one for Google, this is what the whisper message could be. It's like lead from Google ads, lead from Yelp ads, lead from Facebook ads. So you're well aware of the situation. And then call recording. If you actually make or if someone actually calls you, or if you make a call out, this is the message that's going to pop up beforehand. So it's this call may be recorded. You can set the message up to be whatever it might be. But in this case, the default would be this call will be recorded for quality purpose. So whenever someone calls you, they'll hear this first before they actually connect. Incoming call and outgoing call timeout. This is related to how long you want the call to ring until you just want to go ahead and end the call. So instead of incoming calls going directly to your phone number, you could have it going for 15 seconds and then ending the call and maybe going to your voicemail, which is built into the system, which we'll talk about next. Ring incoming calls to all users. So you could actually, if you have like 5 users in here, you could have this number ring to all 5 of those users rather than just one individual person. Cool little feature you could do, and it makes life a little bit easier. Now, please note it doesn't work for all phone systems. So what we found out is is on the Zoom phone system. Those types of phone system actually grabs the calls as soon as it rings, so that way the software isn't able to handle it anymore. It's actually Zoom who's handling the call now. Some phone systems are like that. Some systems are not. If you're using a cell phone specifically, you won't have to worry about that. Currently, I'm using like a Google phone number. Never have an issue with that. So just keep that in mind. So if you ever want to set that up, that'll be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and say this call will be recorded. I don't want to have a whisper message, but this should be okay. If for some reason, yeah, this will be fine.